Hello, pod racing fans all across the world, and welcome back to the Galactic Pod Racing Circuit 2021 Star Wars Episode 1 Racer Tournament. And today I am joined by my co-commentator Ace as we look at the losers round. I believe it's 3, correct? Is it losers round 3?
So yeah, it's losers round 3.
Yeah, losers round 3 between Metallica and Nektarn. Should be a fun one today.
Yeah, definitely. We have another best of 13. And yeah, Metallica versus nektarn, two very, very strong players.
Yeah, both are very consistent in terms of staying alive, and really their overall times are generally within a similar range of their what that you would expect from them, I guess. I
Yeah,
would say Metallica is
I'd say,
definitely the favorite, but not by a wide margin.
yeah, agree for sure. Nektarn is a very old school runner. He's been around for a while. But he isn't very active as of recently. He's basically just joining for the tournaments. But as you said, he's extremely consistent. And in general, Metallica is probably slightly quicker, but not by a long shot. So
Yeah, for sure. Another thing of note is that in general, I would think that Metallica probably has stronger counter picks, but I guess it could go both ways. Nektarn has done some pretty consistent skips in the past.
yeah, he has.
Particularly, I remember seeing a couple times this year he's picked Bunta training course skips, so perhaps we'll see that again today.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised. Although I'm pretty sure Metallica can do that run just fine as well. So
Yeah,
let's
that would be an
see.
interesting race.
Right, both runners are ready. They got their countdown and they should be off shortly. Now we're starting on Beato's Wild Ride. It's a track in the amateur circuit, and it's the third track in the whole game, technically. And it's the first one that actually requires you to show a bit of technical prowess, because this track is not really that straightforward, is it?
No, it's certainly not. In fact, I would say it's probably either most or second most deadly track in the amateur circuit for sure. This is Vengeance, which was the other option available to Metallica to pick, ironically, are both very dangerous and kind of unexpectedly so when you first start the game.
Yeah, it seems they are synced up pretty well here, so it looks like nektarn has a slight lead, although he used more heat to get there.
Yeah.
So let's see how this plays out over the course of the second half of the play.
It's definitely hard to tell because the heat is so similar but not identical. I'm kind of guessing that Metallica's on a better pace, but it's definitely too close. Nice to see Metallica going for slots there. I don't think either are going to go for 10. Oh.
No, they aren't. And just by time, okay. Metallica is 4 attempts ahead. I'm not sure this is an actual 4 attempts lead, though. I think they're still very, very close to each other. Like you said, it's always pretty hard to tell because of the heat.
Sure. And I think Nektarn has been holding a lot of boosts for longer in general. Like, going through the tunnel section near the beginning of the lap, holding that the entire way, whereas Metallica cut that one. Don't blame Metallica for doing that. I probably would do that as well in tournament, but
I'm pretty sure nektarn is ahead now. In fact, if you look at the heat,
it's
a much higher heat.
Significantly better, yeah. Hopefully nektarn can make use of that heat in the third lap here to make it an actual lead. Oh,
yeah.
That might have been bad.
I'm not sure if he actually underheated or if he just timed it really well.
Yeah, hard to tell. Holds that boost.
Like you said, holding the long boost again. And Yeah, they're very close.
Might be ahead by now because
Oh, no!
Oh,
There it goes, and well, that's a very clear lead for Metallica now. Nektarn with the first crash of the match, and that's quite uncharacteristic, I'd say.
yeah, and
For
that was a weird spot to crash. You don't usually see people crash going up that ramp area. Usually you see people crash if they're going to crash going off the top when they jump, pressing nose up too early or something like that. Not off the side.
Yeah, Metallica got this one, and this is going to be a very solid time, actually. 241.5.
241.5. It's very nice. 246 with a death.
That's how it can go sometimes. One crash is all that is needed for you to lose the track. Now, both of the players are going to be permanently banning 2 tracks for the remainder of the match. Then the loser of the previous track, which in this case is nektarn, will ban a pot. And then the winner of the previous track, which is Metallica, will ban an additional track, but only for the next pick. And this is how it will go from here on. And we're seeing so far Adobe Mountain Run permanently banned by Metallica, the Boonta Classic permanently banned by nektarn, Abyss permanently banned by Metallica, and Grapevine Gateway permanently banned by nektarn.
Kind of an interesting mix. I would have expected Metallica to keep Abyss open for possible skips, but I guess not.
Well, Abyss is a comfy pick for nektarn for sure. He's very much likes to pick it on the full track.
Bullseye ban, Gauntlet ban, and Executioner is the track. Okay, then. I think we've seen nektarn pick Executioner in the past.
Yes. He likes to go to the Uvu 4 planets. So we're going to be seeing Executioner without any forces and Bullseye banned, which means we're going to see another ban mirror here. Almost certainly.
Yeah, it would almost be a guaranteed loss to not use Ben unless the other person crashed, given their similar speed.
To give you a bit of information on the stakes of this match, we're currently in losers round 3, which means we are within the top 8 in the tournament. And whoever loses this match will be eliminated from the tournament since we're in the losers bracket, and will finish either 8th or 7th. And the winner of this match will actually go on to face my co-commentator in the losers quarters.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun either way.
So you're already doing a bit of scouting here, huh?
Yeah, we're doing some live scouting. Real strategy. Here's the dump into the tube from nektarn in practice.
Yeah, both players still warming up.
My experience, but I've done some testing, and I'm pretty sure that getting that whole locked rotation thing comes from jumping straight to the center of the tube.
Yeah, it definitely has to do with jumping. If you go in without jumping at all, you won't get locked.
Yeah, for sure. But if you jump into the side rather than straight to the middle, it also tends to avoid it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can't confirm that it's 100%, but I have yet to have it lock on me in doing it when I was doing no upgrades Executioner the other day.
Well, for anyone that is wondering what we are talking about, sometimes if you jump into the tube, into the first tube they're going to go through in Executioner, your rotation is locked in place, and you can't change your rotation by using the tilt mechanics, which you usually can. And this is what we were just talking about, basically.
Yeah, and that can be quite deadly, especially if you don't have the backup plan for it, which it kind of changes depending on what direction you're facing. Very similar start, not surprising.
As you would expect, yeah. Metallica on
Probably going
slightly
in,
higher heat.
yeah, you would want to go in with higher heat generally so you can use the fast terrain in the tubes.
Ooh, nektarn. Did you see that?
Oh,
That was,
that was scary.
yes, for sure. So he actually destroyed one of the rocks and barely avoided the other one. That was extremely close to a crash right there.
Yeah, it looks like Metallica has eked out a little bit of lead in terms of position with heat here. Probably due to the tube in the way that Nektarn flung out of the tube and went wide.
But like nektarn showing off with the first-person camera in the Executioner's second tube. And
Nektarn
he's
uses the
basically...
tube better for the heat there, but might underheat people.
Yeah, he underheated a bit for it.
Would have had to have held that boost coming out of the tube, which maybe he intended to do and just cut it too early.
It's still
Metallica
very
definitely.
close.
Yeah, I would say Metallica probably has small lead at this point due to Nektarn's underheating, but it's really close still.
I think we're not perfectly synced here. I think Metallica is like 3 or 4 times ahead by the in-game time. So it's honestly, I think. Oh, I was about to say nektarn might be in the lead, but I take that back.
That's an unfortunate crash right there.
Yeah, he clipped one of the rocks in the tube. And yeah, this is already pretty rough on his pick right here. Taking a death, Metallica's still clean. I mean, there's still one lap to go, of course, so anything could happen, but maybe nektarn is already feeling a bit of pressure here.
Perhaps. I mean, even doing something like crashing in the first track, if you're a really consistent runner, can throw off your mental game. That could also be influencing it. I would hope not, but it can.
And yeah, I personally feel that the stress level on your own picks is always a bit higher because you kind of feel like you have to win them, right? You prepared it, and if it's your pick, that means you already lost the last track. So I feel like there's always more stress on the runners on their own picks.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Especially given the fact that when it comes to your own picks, if you lose it, if you were ahead, the other person's breaking serve, and if you're behind, you're just falling further behind, which are both very bad outcomes. And man, I don't know how people survive when they're upside down coming out of that tube. I always crash when I'm upside down.
Well, Metallica doesn't have much to go here. Just one more tube and then maybe 2 corners left. So this is looking really good for Metallica.
Yeah, about the only thing that can kill him at this point is the last corner here, which he avoids. Presumably not going to crash in the last 2 seconds.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a 353 and Metallica takes it 2-0.
Another solid performance from Metallica. 353, certainly not bad timing.
And we have our first Ben Bun from nektarn.
Already going off the meta here.
That's what we like to see.
Is it?
I don't mind some variety. We already saw 2 Ben tracks, so.
Fair enough. Is it another gauntlet? Yep, another gauntlet ban. Interesting. Maybe Metallica's just using gauntlet as a third perma ban.
I'm kind of surprised he's doing that because
Yeah,
it's one of
the full
his
track and
better
in
picks
certain
too.
bits. Yeah. Ubuntu Training Force skips. There it is.
We definitely saw that one coming. And I'm pretty sure Metallica is pardon me, I'm pretty sure Metallica is prepared for this. Because this is one of Nektarn's signature picks so far in this tournament.
Yeah, and certainly a strong one too. Won him a good number of races already.
Mm-hmm. So you would expect both of them to go for one sandwich. Even though technically Mars Go can do the skip faster, but it's hardly tournament viable.
Yeah, it's very inconsistent, and that's the nicest way of putting it.
Nektarn looks like he has a really solid setup for getting onto the wall there. That looks really smooth.
I've noticed that his wall climbs are almost always really quick and no sliding off, which is the hardest part of this skip. Just getting on this wall and not sliding off of it.
Mm-hmm. I agree, especially in this condition. If you do it with without upgrades, the other part's the hardest part. But if you do it with one sandwich with full upgrades, then yeah, getting stuck on the wall without slipping off like Metallica did right there in his practice is definitely the hardest part.
Yeah, looks like both players are ready. Hopefully we see 3 clean skips from both. I don't think we've really seen that through this tournament yet on this skip.
Yeah, the probability of something going wrong is always there here. So even though it for the most part it's pretty consistent, if you're just off by like a few millimeters in your approach, it can easily go wrong and throw you off.
Yeah, especially if you go too far to the left trying to go across the skip and then it just doesn't count your lap. That's the worst possibility a lot of times.
For sure, that's straight up 20-second time loss. Now, both of them getting stuck on the wall immediately. Both of them getting a good launch.
Lap counts and lap counts, nice.
Yeah. Nektarn has a 1 second lead right here. And on this track, the leads, the times you see, they are absolute. So if one runner is 1 second ahead by lap time, he's 1 second ahead. Because there's no heat management here.
And Nektarn getting 18 laps very consistently.
2.5 second lead for Nektarn.
Another good climb. Let's see if he can close it out here. Oh,
okay.
Oh,
It worked.
Oh man, that had to be the closest to the invisible walls that I've ever seen.
Yeah, so the walls extend up a bit. So even though it looks like they clear the wall by a good margin, they really don't, because they stick out a lot more than it looks like. Anyway, Nektarn taking his first track, closing in a bit, 2-1 now for Metallica. But it's still a hard spot to be on because Nektarn now has to break surf twice if he wants to win this.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough task, especially against somebody as solid as Metallica. Baruch hosts no forces. Alright, well, I know what Metallica wants out of this. I don't know what Nektarn's gonna do.
So Ben is banned, and there's a very, very clear second best spot here.
Yeah, for sure. Mars Guo is by far the second best pod on this track, but I don't think Metallica's choosing Mars.
I have a feeling we might see a Bullseye mirror.
I would suspect the same thing, even though Bullseye has probably like what, 5-second disadvantage.
Yeah, 4 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure Nektarn is going for Bullseye. I'm not sure about Metallica. I would think
I've always seen
Metallica
use Bullseye, but maybe he's
his PB is a 358 with Bullseye, so we're gonna be seeing a Bullseye.
Yeah, it's a Bullseye mirror, no question.
And this might be close. Nektarn is not far off if you compare their PBs. Nektarn is only 3 seconds behind, which on a track like this is not a huge margin. I mean, don't get me wrong, 3 seconds is a lot, but one crash is more than
3
3.
seconds on a track like Brewer Coast can just disappear.
Yeah.
I believe the best bullseye time on SRC is only about 1 second faster than Metallica's.
Yeah, I think it's a 356.
Oh, is it really? 356? Okay.
Yeah, I think King Bean got a 356.
I thought he had a 357, but I could be wrong there.
Same, honestly. It's one of the two at least.
Yeah, it's in that range. Which either way just shows how strong Metallica's time is. Oh, and it turns out that Nektarn's Boon Training Course skips was actually a tourney skips record.
Oh, he already held that one, didn't he? Did he
Yeah,
improve
he
it?
broke his own record. Gotta love that.
Alright, both runners got the countdown. Now we're just waiting for them to start. Now this track, if you would do it a time trial setting with Ben Quadinaros, who's the fastest spot here, would be one of the hardest tracks in the entire game. Arguably second hardest track in the entire game. They're using bullseye though, which means it's still a hard track, but it's much more consistent than doing this with Ben. So honestly, I'm hoping for 2 deathless runs, and yeah, I'm kind of hoping nektarn can actually take this. So he breaks surf once, and then we have a close match again. But yeah, either way, I think this might be a really close one.
Yeah, I do think that even outside of PVs, Metallica has an advantage because of nektarn using the pitch on his y-axis of his controller still, which is not fun on these corners.
Oh, he's still doing that?
As far as I can tell, when I look at his gameplay, it looks like he loses his nose down quite often.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's definitely a disadvantage on a track like this, because you have to be able to boost these corners as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
In an underheat one.
And we can already see Metallica.
Significant.
Big lead, yeah.
Looks to be about 2.5 seconds right now, which is pretty big for one lap. You'll see it there. 120.4 and 123.1.
Yeah, you were correct.
Oh man. Metallica after about 2 laps. Oh no!
Well, that's a crash. Now the thing is, Bullseye has really good acceleration. So taking a crash with Bullseye costs you maybe 4 seconds. Which means
in that situation though, he lost a good line, so it's a little bit worse in that situation.
Yeah, you're probably right. But either way, if Metallica keeps up this pace he had on lap 1 compared to nektarn, he will be making this up again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
he's already getting...
Yeah, it's already getting close. And like you said, he had a 2.5 seconds on lap 1 alone, 2.5 second lead. And he almost caught up again.
I didn't expect this to be such a discrepancy in not skill, but just speed, I guess.
Well, nektarn still has a lead, but it's not a big one.
Yeah, a couple tenths at this point.
Yeah, not even a second. So, this is gonna be hard for nektarn if Metallica doesn't make another mistake here. And keeps up this good pace.
Oh, no!
nektarn also bailing out of the good line, and they're pretty much tied now.
In fact, Metallica has better heat now, too. Oh no. Nektarn has to count on Metallica making a mistake at this point, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. Because we've seen before, Metallica is a bit quicker here. His pace is a little bit better due to him not relying on his pitch for no turn like you mentioned earlier. And he's ahead again in the lead.
Man, that's gotta hurt a little bit if Metallica says that he died in that. That's not good for the morale. He passed after being in a crash.
And let's see if Metallica can keep it clean here on the later half of the track. They're pretty close to each other.
I think Metallica is gonna take it.
Not by much.
403 and 404. Ah, man.
Ooh, so close. You know what? If nektarn didn't bail out of the good jump line on lap 3, he might have had this.
Yeah, might have. That was way too close to call without that. Jeez.
Well, another track within a second. You always love to see it, of course, but this is getting rough for nektarn.
No doubt.
He already used one of his forces. He has 3 left, though, so he still has some time to collect his thoughts.
Another ban. Another gauntlet ban. I think the assumption that gauntlet is a third perma ban in a sense for Metallica probably is true, though I don't understand the logic behind it.
I have a theory of why this might be. So we know nektarn likes to pick gauntlet skips. We know Metallica likes to pick gauntlet skips, right? But
oh, this is interesting. Salty Runback Executioner, Force Ban Bulls, and Force Skips using 2 forces and his Salty Runback.
yeah, I know what he's going for here. You know, the thing is, the Bowl Span Force is actually kind of wasted because he's very bad at the skip. But
Yeah.
I know what he's going for sure, and this might work out. Anyway, my theory of why we're seeing Metallica temporarily banning Gauntlet is that he knows that nektarn likes to pick, and he himself likes to pick as well. But I think Metallica wants to pick this on his own terms. You know, he doesn't want that nektarn picks it first, but he still wants to pick it later, maybe with another force. Let's say maybe Ban Mars in force skip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. You know, sometimes going there with your own idea of a counter pick or preventing somebody else from doing a bad version of the counter pick can help it feel better, or just straight up make it a more likely to win scenario. Okay, it looks like they both are going to be using Mars.
Oh, that setup is this is really fishy. I could already tell.
I hope he doesn't do it like that in the actual race.
Yeah, same. He forgot to slide while going up the wall, and you really have to do that.
You really do. Otherwise, your angle of your pod does not get set to being good at all. Oh no. Yeah, nektarn doesn't seem to have much confidence in his own pick in chat.
Well, he used 2 forces for this.
Yeah, he better hopes he wins. And it's a little bit early to be using double forces. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. At what point does it become better to just go Aldar Bidu on the full track?
Well, we're gonna see what happens here.
Yeah, for sure. You can see
Metallica trying. This is not gonna work, though. Not even close.
No.
You know what? Metallica is going full track. I'm calling it now.
You should just switch pods at that point, though. Unless you don't want to use Aldar. Aldar is kind of rough sometimes.
Yeah, and Marth isn't that much slower.
Especially longer boost thrusts, easier to use properly on the route people are used to taking. And longer cooldown, so you can use more fast train. Honestly, it's a good track to use Mars over Vita if you're ever going to do it.
Well, here we go, we're off. Executioner, force skips, force spun bowls, and bend. So,
are either of them going to ever get any of the skips is the question that I'm asking.
I mean, nektarn is gonna try, isn't he? At
He's
least
got it.
he had the right tilt direction. So
He
that's
did.
already a good start. Now the
Okay,
question is Metallica gonna try?
they both cut their boosts.
Oh,
Both, oh no!
This is not gonna work for either of them. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Metallica with the backup, nektarn going through the tube. And Metallica might die out of force here, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man!
And respawn in the two.
Oh wow. They both gotta feel like they're behind now, but
That was great.
I'm very curious what we're gonna see on lap 2 because with the setup that Metallica is using, it's never gonna work.
No, not a chance.
nektarn has the right setup, but he's doing the wrong inputs during it, so they might just both bail on lap 2, or they might try again because they feel like they have to now. I don't know.
I feel like after getting so little height with nektarn and Metallica, like you can't go for it again, right? Like,
You would think so, yeah, but I mean they already did the same in practice and they still went for it, so
yeah, it's 0 for 2 practice.
that's what's gonna happen. It would certainly be smart for both of them to not try again, but I'm not too sure about this. Yeah, nektarn is gonna try again.
Gonna go for it. Oh,
No, this is not gonna work again. Or maybe
started sliding.
no.
No.
Too little height. Oh wow! Yes.
Oh!
I love to see this. This is so fancy. This is I haven't seen this in a long time, but this is a backup you can do. And most of you probably have never seen this before. And I think this is what nektarn meant to do in the first place.
I think it might, yeah.
This is his way of doing this.
That's crazy.
And yeah, this is an
failed it again and died out of bounds again. So this is really good for nektarn. Jeez.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at this point, he has like a 20-second lead. So that's huge. Not quite 20 seconds, but almost. And wow, that skips it up. I love to see it, man. I didn't expect this.
No, and that requires a lot of precision to go in between those two balls without missing it.
Yeah, for sure. So to explain how this works, the top of this wall doesn't have any collision because the devs apparently didn't think you could go on there, but we proved them wrong. Anyway, you can just fall in between those walls, go out of bounds, and then make it to where nektarn landed on the previous lap.
Again?
Like this. Yeah.
Nice.
Man, I love to see this. This is so
awesome.
Cool. Now it has to be said, this is not faster than the normal map, but it's extremely fancy. I love it. It's great.
Metallica almost accidentally did it.
Yeah. And yeah, solid win for nektarn right here. And Metallica gonna die out of bounds again.
Wait, what?
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
He proved me wrong there.
You followed the spline well enough, I guess. And solid win for nektarn.
Yeah, 357. Definitely a solid time, considering he missed the skip on lap 1.
Didn't die though.
But yeah, I mean this skip method from nektarn, I'm extremely pleased to have seen this. This looked really cool. Now nektarn closing in again. 3 for Metallica, 2 for nektarn. First to 7 wins. Moves on to the losers quarters. And whoever loses here is out. High stakes.
Very high stakes. But at the very worst, we are going to get at least 9 races out of this. So we can't complain about that. Juan Sandage Band. That could mean many things.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is Inferno not banned?
Oh no, Inferno's not banned.
Oh, what did you do, nektarn?
Nektarn, no! You can't do that. We're about to see it, aren't we? Inferno's.
Yes, of course.
It's gotta happen.
Never mind.
Oh, okay.
He might be saving it for later.
Yeah, it might be like the pocket win.
This is an interesting pick, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Vengeance, no upgrades. Definitely not the easiest track to do, even in a normal setting, let alone with no upgrades bulls. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to completely and utterly destroy your chance of getting a good time by boosting the tube when you need to be cooling down that
Yep,
practically the entire tube.
that is correct. So, due to no upgrades having no cooling and bowlers having really bad base cooling, you can go through the entire tube without boosting, which is optimal because it's fast terrain. And like you said, if you don't know what you're doing here and you're not doing that, you're gonna lose a bunch of time. Not even by crashing, just by not using the fast terrain properly.
Yeah, and it's completely unrecoverable. You can't make that back.
Yeah.
Oh no, nektarn saying he should have practiced no upgrades.
Oof, that's not a good sign.
At least start with picking bulls. Okay, that's good at least.
And I know Metallica has a pretty decent PB here. I think he has a 354.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that as well when I was looking at the no upgrades times. Also has a 306 max upgrades time, which is certainly not bad. Very respectable.
Also, do you know why I think he's doing this? To take away one of nektarn's pick. Because, like I said earlier, nektarn likes to go to Uvo 4. And I'm pretty sure he would have picked Vengeance at some point.
Yeah. Seems like Metallica is doing everything he can to take away nektarn's picks a little bit here, at least. Which is certainly a good strategy. Okay, so we are definitely getting a... Oh, we're not getting a Bull's Mirror. Oh, no.
What?
That's not good.
This makes it even worse for nektarn.
Yeah, you can't go into this not having practiced no upgrades, possibly not knowing what to do in the tubes completely, and then also choose not bolts. Man, that's a lot of time lost just even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like both of them are ready, so I guess we'll go ahead and have the countdown given here. Thank you for putting a resident sleeper in the chat there.
Well, I have to.
Yes, Nacho, we're all a bunch of haters. Totally, you're right. I don't actually hate no upgrades. I just find it significantly less entertaining than max upgrades.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
It's definitely a different skill set.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, actually.
Yeah, if you completely despise it, then certainly wouldn't have spent time optimizing things like amateur circuit no upgrades.
Anyway, it looks like we're off here. And nektarn already in the back, on the back foot just by picking Ben here. So
yeah, and you can already see it too. Like, you can see like the tense in a little bit of time slowly eking away here.
Yeah, it's not the hugest of differences, but still Bolas has a significant advantage.
Yeah, the only thing, the only thing Ben can have going for him here is that his cooldown is longer, so he has an easier time cooling down in the tubes. And since his
Yeah.
chest is stronger, it does help him.
Is he actually gonna go do it? Oh man.
Oh! That's not the way to do it.
Yeah, this is looking rough.
Yeah, this is probably almost certainly a win for Metallica already. It would take multiple mistakes from Metallica. Yeah, look at
Oh.
him. Oh, another death.
Yeah, this is rough.
Yeah, I don't want to already call it, but it's so hard to count on Metallica to make mistakes like this. And he would have to crash minimum 3 times.
Yeah.
That's asking a lot. I agree, Mikey. Metallica's tubing is terrifying. All the 360-degree turns. I don't know how people do that.
We gotta bring in some excitement, right? Just spin it, I think it's a good trick.
I find it terrifying. Or, well, you can already see that Metallica has, what, half a tube, 2/3 a tube lead here?
Huge lead.
Yeah.
At this point, you just have to hope that nektarn keeps his mental game in check and basically doesn't get tilted by this.
Yeah, I don't think he will, given how he seemed unprepared, where normally if you're tilted, it's because you thought you were prepared for something.
Yeah.
Losing something that you didn't see coming, it doesn't hurt as bad as losing what you think was going to happen.
Yeah, that's very true. We talked about earlier how usually you have much more pressure on your own picks, so yeah, losing something you haven't prepared at all versus someone who's certainly very well versed in it. Yeah, not
Yeah,
quite a big deal for the mental, but you have to keep in mind the context. Metallica is gonna go up 4-2 again,
0-2,
so
yeah, that's rough. Let's hope Nektarn has some good counter picks and can break serve at least once in the future races.
yeah, he has to bounce back after this for sure. Metallica, but I think now we can call it Metallica winning this.
Yeah,
Let's see the time though. Looking like a decent time. Maybe sub 4?
it should be sub 4, yeah. Barely, but it should be. Maybe, what, 3:56?
It's a really good time. Yeah,
Yeah,
3:56
that's
too.
nice. That's nice.
And in the end, you know, nektarn not even that far behind. Considering he picked Ben, he died twice on that one. You know
Yeah,
what, he's...
really, it's kind of surprising that it was that close.
I mean, okay, I mean, he's still
I mean,
18
it's still 18
seconds.
seconds, but that's still surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope nektarn can bounce back here. He has 1/4 left. Let's see if he's gonna use
And
it.
bullseye. Still the Gauntlet ban makes sense. Didn't expect a change in plan yet.
I'm still scared because Inferno is on the table.
Yeah, that's
So,
almost a guaranteed win for Metallica.
yeah.
Most players, in order to even have a chance of beating Metallica on Inferno, would have to just wing it and go for the third lap.
Yeah, you certainly have a point.
Aqualaris Classic. I suspect that they're both relatively even here. Nektarn's not going to be hurt too much by having pitch on y-axis.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking as well.
I think Metallica has a 38 point something here. 238 point something.
Which is quite a good time.
For sure.
Not quite super top tier, but very, very solid.
Yeah, for sure. Although there's definitely a good number of players who can get 237s in tournaments, so
yeah.
Yeah. Also has a 238. Nice. Okay. This should be a good match then. Love to see it.
Oh, we certainly hope it will be.
5 versus a 238.3. 2/10 apart in PBs. And not using any forces here, so.
Yeah, nektarn only has one left, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a good choice just to go for something that you think you can outrace your opponent on when you have a number of forces or when you want to save them. Definitely should be a bent mirror here. No reason to choose any better ones. Now 238.3, certainly pretty solid. Not the best, but very good.
Now this track is by some considered to be the simplest track in the game. But that also makes it kinda dangerous, because you tend to go really risky.
Yeah, I think the lines are the easiest to understand, for sure. I don't think it's the easiest in terms of survivability, but it's definitely the easiest to understand. You could argue Bunta Training Course is easier. I think you have a lower chance of dying on Bunta Training Course, but the lines are very hard to see.
That's true, yeah. I would argue that Aqualaris is a bit more technical, though, because of the ending.
Yeah, the hairpins at the end, or figure eight, or whatever you want to call it, definitely very easy to lose all of the time in the world that you could imagine on that singular set of 2 turns. Lightning does bring up an interesting point that there's no slow terrain on Aqualaris, so that helps.
This is Aqualaris Classic. It's the 4th track in the amateur circuit. It's quite a simple track, really. And both players have very solid PBs here. So, and they're very close. Their PBs are extremely close to each other. So let's see where this is gonna go. They're pretty much synced up. I think it's not a perfect sync, but it's close enough.
Yeah, for sure. Heat and time, relatively similar.
Yeah.
Like maybe Nektarn might be slightly ahead here, maybe? Hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Let's wait for the lap time.
And we get a 53.3 and a 53.9.
Mm-hmm. Metallica has less heat, though.
Not significantly less. Not 6/10 less.
Probably not.
Yeah. Nektarn has
to use the trick there to hold the boost, but he's failing to do so. It is bad because in the end you're taking a longer line there for no gain. So definitely a very slight time loss.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. I know some players like to use max traction on this track, which I cannot fathom how you make that figure eight work at max traction, but you do get some boost holds. And it doesn't look like Nektarn is on max traction, so it's way harder to do that stuff.
This is so close.
Yeah, definitely Nektarn's favor so far, though. Yeah, looks like he got another 10th or something.
They're still very, very close because Metallica used less heat. And a very interesting fact is both of them are taking a different route on the figure 8. Metallica going right, Nektarn going left. Which is definitely interesting. Don't see that every day unless King Bean did plays.
King Bean always the lover of the right side.
Yeah.
They're very similar lines if you stick to the right side. Was Metallica sticking to the right side or cutting across?
I think he's sticking to it. Anyway, this is gonna come down to heat here. Who has better heat
Yeah.
at the end? And
I think it's gonna be nektarn if he can close it out. It's hard to do with the last turn.
oh yeah, nektarn
And
with a leg boost.
okay, yep,
It's-
6/10 victory for nektarn here. Very close.
And that was a classic Aquilaris classic, I'd say. Really, really close. Both players with a really good time. And half a second makes the difference. Nektarn closing in once again. 4-3 for Metallica. Is it gonna happen now? Or...
Banning bowls. Another Bumpy's ban.
It's only a matter of time before we see the Inferno pick.
It's got to happen at some point.
It will.
Spice
But not
Mike.
yet.
Okay.
Not
Alright.
yet. So it seems Metallica is saving this for the match point, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Another thing to note is that Metallica has 3 forces still. And that's scary.
Yeah, he only forced no upgrades once.
Still not choosing to do anything with it. He might have more than just the Inferno pick up his sleeve to close out the last 2.
Maybe he buns Mars and picks Inferno.
Perhaps. Although you could do that without using an extra force.
That's true.
The ending is going to be really hard for nektarn here.
Yeah,
this
he
is probably
certainly
the hardest ending to a track in the game, at least according to the 2 of us anyways.
Yeah, I certainly think so.
I agree with you for sure. It's so hard to use properly. Enough heat. But yeah, this is an exaggerated effect on nektarn, I would say. Not being able to boost instantly out of those corners is gonna hurt a lot in lap 3.
You could already see Metallica is using the cutscene to manipulate the timings of the moving objects, like the one you saw on Nektarn's screen, the minecart, and the one you might see on Metallica's screen right here, which is the dozer. If you wait out the opening cutscene, these vehicles are already moving. So by watching the cutscene instead of skipping it, you can manipulate the cycle of these 2 vehicles, making it a bit, making them a bit, having a bit better placement during your lap. And I don't think nektarn is doing it, is he?
No, I don't think so. But then again, it really is only a big factor if you're going fast enough for it to be, which maybe nektarn hasn't had that issue really in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so the countdown was given, so we should see them start off shortly. Yep, looks like this is going to be the real run here. Wait, Metallica skipped the cutscene. Oh no!
Oh, well, never mind then. Yeah,
I guess it was pointless.
he did it in practice, but, well...
Maybe accidentally menued through it?
Maybe.
Yeah, you gotta be ultra careful, like, on that one. Oh, holding that boost and doing some awkward corners. I'm not sure why you'd ever choose to do that, but okay. Pretty as
Now,
you
you're gonna see both of them trying to max out the heat before this 3-way crossroad they're on right now, and that is because this is fast terrain again. So they wanna use their cooldown on the fast terrain, so this added speed they get from the fast terrain is maximized.
That downhill slope right there has some tricky lines in it. It looked like nektarn didn't really know it as well as Metallica. Seemed to try to move the right side, which is certainly not the straightest line.
The best line down this slope is very much not obvious at all.
Yeah, I recently watched my my first Spice Mine run PB, and I noticed I did exactly what nektarn did, which was hug the right side because I thought that was the straight line.
Metallica in the lead. It's not a huge lead though.
No, it's 3/10 Pretty much exactly, because I have very similar.
Yeah, they're on very similar here, for sure.
Very recoverable, though. You can definitely make that time back up. Small mistakes, slightly better lines, and you can continue. I'm not sure I would recommend boosting into the fast terrain there, but then again, it's a little bit easier to make sure you don't underheat, so I don't blame nektarn for doing it.
Yeah, it's not a huge time loss.
And you can see they both had to dodge the minecart, which if you do the cutscene properly is not an issue.
Metallica's pulling ahead slightly here, it seems.
Yeah, maybe another 2 to 3 tenths gained by now.
But keep in mind, this is Metallica's pick, and nektarn is still in this.
Yeah, for sure. This is 4-3.
This is not good. nektarn gonna underheat here.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. Dang. And the lead extends another 8 tenths pretty much. A little bit less than that.
Is fast enough though for the dozer to be a problem. Right? So
Metallica could crash on the dozer maybe.
yeah, he's approaching the dozer now. After this tunnel there's the dozer. And if it's in the way completely like this, ooh.
Oh no, nektarn! Ah, dang it.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Metallica making a pass and nektarn falling victim to the dozer. And this is when you do the cutscene manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think that people don't generally know about the dozer is that you don't actually want to go try to squeeze yourself to the outer edge of the tires. That's where you'll die. You want to go through the middle.
But even then, it can catch you off guard.
It certainly can, yeah. Clipping, it's kind of like clipping through a wall in a sense. Sometimes you just die. Alright, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a clean win for Metallica.
Yep, Metallica takes a 3.339 solid time. And nektarn coming in with a 350. Unfortunate crash on lap 3 for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not any consolation, but he certainly would have still lost even without the crash.
Alright, big pressure on nektarn here on his pick now. He's
Another bullseye ban.
He's 2 points behind, 2 wins behind. And if Metallica gets another win, he has match points en masse.
And that's where you're going to see something like an Inferno pocket. It's kind of like the Fox Marth matchup in Melee, you know? You don't want to see it with the FD in that matchup.
You know, back in my day, we used to call it 50-50. Maybe not an FD, though. But yeah, that's certainly true. Metallica still has an Inferno pick, and it's almost a secure win for him. Yeah, we're going to Endoprime Centrum.
Alright, yep, no forces. Cool.
Oh, nektarn has a solid PB here. That was a 237. He has to win this. He cannot afford to lose this one.
Yeah, you just can't win. I really don't see a world where you can win 3 times in a row if you lose this one against Metallica.
The thing is, he still has to break Surf twice. And he won't be doing that on Inferno. Right? Yeah. So, as soon as Metallica gets his 6th win, it's looking very dark. So he has to win this.
The worst part about it is that Metallica still has his run back too. So there's you never know, even if you beat him there once, might not be the end of the game.
Yeah. Very true.
I would highly recommend to anybody who ever goes up against Metallica, either permanent ban Inferno or temp ban it every time. Don't let it ever happen.
Yep, that is good advice.
Ando Prime Classic. I don't think I've ever heard that version of the name before, Mikey.
And we are match 9.
Okay, both sticking to the right side, safer strat for tournament, I suppose.
Both avoiding the crash on the icicle.
Yeah, that's always good. Let's see how they handle. This is where you're gonna lose most of your time if you're gonna lose it, is in this character.
And they basically go through it, seemed great to see.
Both very similar speed and lines out of the nektarn looked to have held around 500 speed going through, which is very solid.
So close, nektarn almost touching the left wall.
Speed on that one.
I think Metallica has a slight lead here. Actually, I'm wrong. nektarn is
Oh yeah, nektarn has a slight lead, and I think he even had lower heat. No, never mind. I'm wrong.
And they're very close to. It's gonna come down to these hairpins, isn't it? They're approaching it again. This is the key part of the track, like Dom said earlier. This is where time is lost and gained. And a bit wide, touching the outside.
Yeah,
Metallica was a bit cleaner.
Similar lines going through the pillar. You can definitely get a better line going through that pillar, but it's not the easiest task to do.
Yeah, they're still very close to each other. Metallica opting for a longer boost this time down the hill.
Yeah, kind of more similar to what I do. A little bit different, but very similar strategy.
There we're going into lap 3, and they're less than a second apart.
nektarn definitely. I don't know where he gained so much time over Metallica there.
I think, yeah, you're right, actually. Here he gained a second.
9/10 he gained somehow. I don't understand how. What did we
I think it was the lines through the city.
It had to have been, which is kind of crazy.
Let's watch this. He might get a red engine if he hits the outside wall. He doesn't.
Oh, he breaks.
This is nektarn's to lose.
Yeah. Good pick from nektarn, apparently.
Let's hope he can keep it clean. Keep the heat high at the end.
Avoids that. Okay, doesn't take enough engine damage for it to turn red. That's good.
It's looking good for nektarn. There's not much more that can go wrong here apart from mistiming your heat.
It just boosts again. And boosts
I didn't use enough heat.
Didn't use enough heat, but I think
Neither did Metallica. Yeah.
237.7 versus a 239. I am surprised Metallica lost that much time, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I think he took some very sloppy lines from the city section. But yeah, nektarn had to make this count, and he did.
Yeah. Surviving under immense pressure.
And it's not going to ease up, that's the problem. Because Metallica is 2 tracks away from winning this and knocking nektarn out of the tournament. So, and like we said, Inferno is on the table. It's looming above nektarn's head, like a dark cloud before a thunderstorm.
That's a great analogy. Ben and Bumpy's band. Aqualar's classic, no upgrades run back. Interesting.
It's Metallica's second pick. And we all know what he still can do. This is gonna be rough. Because we already saw nektarn really didn't like no upgrades. Yeah. He has to put out a miracle here.
And Metallica getting rid of Ben, which is what nektarn seemed to have as a comfort pick for it too.
Well, that's good though, because that might force him to bowls. Yeah, it does.
It is a good thing. Because Ben compared to Bulls is just, it's not comparable really, no upgrades.
And you know, this track is simple enough that even if you don't know exactly what you're doing with the boost time, if Metallica makes a mistake or crashes, I think it's enough margin for Nektarn to take this, even though he's not that prepared here.
Yeah, you can definitely make it work.
And he has to win this pretty much. I can't emphasize this enough, but you cannot let Metallica get a match point here with Inferno still being on the table.
Yeah, no, that's not an option.
Alright, hopefully we're gonna see Nektarn switch to his no upgrades profile. Yes, he is. There we go. And we could see the stat bar, which in my opinion is sufficient to tell if there's no upgrades or not. Did we see it on Metallica's side? I think we did.
I'm pretty sure we did, yeah.
So, both are gonna do a short warm-up here. And they will be off.
BBK making a nice joke about his inability to do no upgrades. Chat, love to see it.
Oh, Nektarn. Let's hope he learned from
Thank
that one.
goodness that's practice. Oh, man.
Needs to hope for a miracle here, really.
Quite literally, yeah. Oh, man.
Track number 10. Aquilaris Classic, no upgrades. Best of 13, first to 7 wins, so getting close to the end here. Whoever loses is out. Whoever wins moves on to losers quarters.
Man, I can feel the pressure just sitting here talking about it. I can only imagine what must be going through Nektarn's head as he's going in, needs to break serve twice still.
I think he's
In one of his
blissfully
weakest
aware
links.
of the looming Inferno pick though. At least it seems this way. Anyway, let's see what he can do here. Like I said, it is certainly not out of the question that he could take it here if Metallica makes a mistake and crashes. But you can already see Nektarn's lines are pretty sloppy compared to Metallica. And even though on track he's ahead, in reality he isn't, because he already used all of his heat.
Oh, he's not waiting nearly long enough to boost. Don't keep doing that.
Yeah, you would see Metallica taking the lead now.
Yeah. I think what is kind of at fault here is that Nektarn, I don't think, has a high enough frame rate to really be using the no traction bulls.
Yeah, he's not on 60, isn't he? He might run into troubles in this figure 8 actually, oh man.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, that's a huge time loss. Even though he didn't crash, he lost almost all of his speed there.
It's horrible to do that now.
You're definitely right, he's not on 60 FPS here, which you definitely should be if you're doing no upgrades.
And he keeps using boost too much there too. I really don't see a way that Metallica can lose this.
Well, if he crashes, Nektarn will be ahead. But then again, there's two figure 8s left.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Looking pretty grim for Nektarn.
Metallica approaching lap 3.
Oh no.
Crash. That almost seals it right there.
Yeah, you need at least 2 crashes from Metallica now. And as we've seen throughout this, Metallica does not crash very often. In fact, all of Metallica's crashes have been, actually there was the one in Brew Coast, and then there was 3 on the Executioner skips, and Nektarn taking another crash, and I think that's the end of it.
Certainly looks like it, yeah.
So, Metallica going to be going up 6-4. Ah, another crash. Ah, I hate to see it.
Well, let's
Yeah.
just hope Nektarn starts spawning Inferno if he wins the next track, because if not, well,
Yeah, if you don't start banning Inferno now, you either don't know that Metallica is still holding world record there, I believe.
yeah, yes.
Or
I mean, for now, he has to win on his own pick, Nektarn.
3:23.99, very solid time.
Yeah, really good. So Metallica is up 6-4, which means Metallica has 3 straight match points in a row. One more and Metallica moves on to the losers quarters. And this is Nektarn's last pick. No matter what happens, this is the last track that Nektarn will pick in this match. He has 1 force left, let's see if he uses it.
Yeah, and unsurprisingly, that 323 is going to be a tournament no upgrades record. Okay, so we have another bullseye ban. Still the gauntlet ban.
Same old.
Yeah, nothing new here. Adobe Mountain Run.
Ooh, I like that.
I thought that was banned, actually.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
Yeah,
Metallica
apparently you're
banned it.
right.
Metallica saying that, yeah.
Yep, it's a perma ban.
Oh man, that would have been an interesting pick.
Well, let's see what he comes up with now.
Yeah, needs another backup here. Ooh. Wait, didn't Nectarn already use his salty run back? Or am I incorrect?
Let's check.
I believe he used it on Executioner.
Yes,
Oh
he did.
man, Nectarn having a rough time here.
He did
Howler
indeed.
Gorge, there it is. Okay, now we have something valid. Howler Gorge.
Yeah, Howler Gorge. Well, it would have surprised me. I mean, he might as well have forced to pick, forced to skip, just for the
Just for the memes.
laughs. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty funny. Imagine somebody actually did that in tournament. That would be.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not gonna happen. I know that, but
Just
still.
for reference, the skip on this track is, well, maybe the most inconsistent skip in this game. So
It's definitely top 3 at the worst, but it probably is the most inconsistent. Unless you want to count that Sebulba's Legacy skip. That may or may not even work.
Yeah. Alright, nektarn this time 100% needs to win.
Yeah, there's no losing this one. Loses this and it's over. Holler Gorge always gives me a little bit of anxiety. There's so many random places that you can just die. And it's so easy to lose time, whether it be from the fast train in the tent or underheating in the hairpins in the earlier part of the track.
Yeah, I would definitely say the difficulty is very front-loaded though.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, looks like we're off. Track number 11, and it's a match point for Metallica. We see
different routes here.
Very interesting. This is not uncommon though, because both of these routes are basically equal in terms of how fast they are. So I'm not surprised we see some variation here.
Yeah, Metallica's, I believe, is technically faster, just by a small margin. They seem to be relatively even. Maybe Metallica has gotten a little bit of a lead.
Metallica taking a better line entering this section.
They're both tilting down slope. All times.
Yeah, I would say Metallica's ahead, but we have the tent coming up, the infamous tent shortcut. And both of them are... Wait, nektarn, you... Oh no!
Nektarn, no wait, no, wait, nektarn! Oh no.
Oh, so...
That's not what you want to see.
He should have been on much higher heat there.
Yeah, that's a lot of time loss. Not only did he almost, and maybe he did actually underheat going into the tent.
He did, yeah.
But then he boosted the entire time on the fast train.
So Metallica definitely in the lead now.
Yeah. That's not good for nektarn here. Reminder that this is his tournament life on the line here.
There's still one lap to go. There's still 110 to go.
Anything can happen on that tent. Even the best players will die on that tent.
I think this time... Oh no, he's cooling down again. Okay, this is...
What? I don't understand.
I think he doesn't know about the fast terrain. It's the only thing that could explain this. Yeah, you can see how much Metallica pulls ahead just because of that error that nektarn is making here. And... both barely avoiding the ceiling there. And... Metallica probably has a 2-3 seconds lead here, which... It's almost impossible to make up if Metallica doesn't make a mistake.
Yeah, it's only about a second and a half somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, it's still, you can't make up that time directly anymore. You have to count on Metallica making something. I don't think Metallica is going to. Only a couple
Coming up to the last straight here, Metallica still in the lead. By all means, he should have this.
Yeah.
They're close.
Yeah.
Metallica takes it.
Maybe a real flap there for nektarn, though.
Yeah, that's the 7-4 win for Metallica. He was the favorite going in. Nektarn put up a good fight. But unfortunately, that's the end of the tournament for Nektarn. He finishes in 7th or 8th place, depending on what happens in the BBK versus Lightning Pirate match. And Metallica moves on to the losers quarters to face you, Dom.
Yeah, looks like we're both gonna have our work cut out for each other here.
And hello, guys.
Yeah,
GG's.
welcome, runners. GG's.
Hello.
Very good match.
GG.
Yeah, it was very fun, very back and forth. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was fun for sure.
I'm interested in watching what happened in Executioner. Executioner skips. I read that you used a different strategy.
Oh yeah, Nektarn
Oh, man.
used, Nektarn
That's
used an extremely cool variant of the skip. I recommend watching this, actually. This was really cool.
Yeah, I tried to learn the proper skip where you jump over everything, but I have a hard time getting like long jumps in this game. So once I played and I was like tilted, so I just tried to crash in the wall and I just fell down there and I realized you could take that route. So
Yeah, it looked extremely cool for sure. It was great to see.
yeah.
You didn't like the no upgrades picks, though, did you?
No, especially not the one on with the Uwe tube. That was insane.
Vengeance.
Yeah. I had no control in the tube.
Yeah, those picks definitely came in really big for Metallica.
for sure. Kind of curious what you guys had strategic, like what did you guys have planned when you were coming into this, or did you just kind of go with the flow a little bit?
Everything I did was exactly according to what I had planned. Actually, on my match against Nacho, since my computer was dead and all that, I didn't have time to think properly about my strategy. So in that match, I just did whatever came to my mind, and I think that's a big reason why I lost. I usually have a big strategy written down, and I follow it to a T. And that's what I did today.
Well, I'm happy that you could get a strategy going today because it's always nice to see, nice strategic matches, back and forths, picks, counter ideas.
Yeah, you go on to play at least one more match. Congratulations to making it to the top 6, Metallica, and also congratulations to Nektarn for finishing in the top 8 once again.
Yeah, thanks.
It's great to have you as always.
Yeah, it's fun to play for sure.
So, Metallica, what do you think about your next opponent?
It's gonna be a little bit difficult. I don't know if there's enough strategy to save me there.
Well, it's a tournament, so anything can happen. We all know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and if
Gonna
there's
have to
one
go
thing
for
that you
some
definitely statistically have going over me is that you seem to die less often.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the second best death stats in this game.
Yeah,
In this
second to
tournament.
Ace.
Nice.
Yeah, my last match definitely hurt my stats a lot in that regard, but regardless, it's all part of the tournament, so it is reflective of my performance.
Yeah, and also, once while we're on topic, Nektarn actually has the third best death per minute stat in the tournament.
Do I still have that after this match?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will.
Okay.
It looks like you do, yeah. In fact, Metallica's went down and yours stayed the same.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, definitely a nice thing to have, for sure. shows that you're very consistent, a very experienced player. We did notice though that you still have your nose down on your stick, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
tried to rebind it, but I can't really figure out how to rebind it to my controller. So I bound it to my space on the keyboard.
Oh.
But that's super awkward. And
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what? If you want, you can DM me later or maybe tomorrow, and then I can help you figure it out, because it's definitely possible, and it's for sure holding you back on some of these tracks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen other people use it. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you want, I'll help you fix it.
Yeah, sure.
For the
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, that would be great.
But either way, you can definitely be proud of yourself, I would say, making it to top 8 again, and giving Metallica a fair fight here. So, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good, very well played on both sides. Certainly saw a lot of solid times, and in terms of actual tournament records, we did see both of you set one tournament record today. Metallica setting the Aqualaris Classic No Upgrades tournament record, and you beating your own Skip's Ubuntu training course record, Nektarn.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
Oh yeah, nektarn is
So,
really
good
good
job
at
on
that.
that.
I was practicing it pretty hard, trying to match that 55 second that you had before, and I couldn't do it. That's a really good time.
At 55, he beat his own record by only a tenth, so very consistent.
Yeah.
55 and a half, 55.6. Not the easiest time to get in the world, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky in the tournament that when I've done the skip, I think all the laps have counted. I think maybe one didn't, but most of my laps have counted. So I've been pretty lucky in that regard.
Certainly a finicky skip in that. Not losing the line.
Yeah.
Well, is there any other questions or comments that anybody has before we wrap things up?
Not really, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Well, in that case, if you want to see more pod racing, today's your lucky day, because we have another match coming up, another losers round 3 match, in about 90 minutes on SpeedGaming 2 this time, and it's going to be Lightning Pirate versus Banana Boat Kid. Whoever wins this will move to losers quarters to face Nacho Brado, and whoever loses this will be eliminated. So definitely tune in 90 minutes on SpeedGaming 2. Thanks for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.